Right, we're getting there. So let me see whether we are live. Are we live? Sorry, folks, if we are live, I apologise because everything was working. We are live. Everything was working absolutely perfectly. And then all of a sudden, oh, yeah, there we go. All of a sudden, I lost volume. I had no sound at all. So we've had to swap from StreamYard to Zoom very quickly. Hence, we are a little bit late, but we are live now. I'm just going to let everybody know in the Glow Club. Let everybody know we are here. And fabulous. Okay, but apologies for the delay. If you've got any questions or comments, please put them in the comments below. Let us know you're here. We'd love to know where you're tuning in from this evening, and we'd love to say hello and acknowledge that you're here. What else do I need to say? Just welcome. Thank you for taking the time out on your Monday evening. I'm really, really excited to welcome Kayla Middleton to the Glow Club. We've known each other for a few months now through a business course that we were on, and she is just a remarkable lady. So let me tell you a little bit about her. Kayla is a transformational manifesting and mindset coach dedicated to guiding women through their journey from who they are now to who they aspire to become. Seamlessly blending spirituality with a more grounded and scientific approach, Kayla has empowered hundreds of women to conquer their mindset barriers and reach their life aspirations. In her own life, she balances the roles of mother, wife, and business owner, and she intimately understands the struggles of prioritizing other people over herself. So with her personal insights, this fuels her commitment to practicing what she preaches, employing her own tools in a daily practice and establishing her as a trusted authority in her field. So I'm really, really excited to welcome Kayla to the Glow Club this evening. I'm going to disappear off so that she can do her stuff and show you her magic. And I will come back very soon. I'll leave you to it. If I can work out how to switch myself off, of course.
Thank you. Honestly, I need to employ you to write my introductions because that was quite a introduction. So thank you very much. So yes, I am Kayla Middleton and I'm founder of Affirmation Army and Science Behind the Sacred. And yeah, I think Jacqueline kind of summed up basically what I do, but it is my aim to help all women become the version of themselves that they want to be. Okay. And I understand it isn't easy, especially if we are, mums, wives, business owners, employees, we are nurses, we are chefs, we are cleaners, we are everything to everyone. And I think sometimes it can feel really easy to feel trapped in a vicious cycle of I don't know how to put myself first. I don't know how to create the life that I feel like I'm supposed to be living. Because yes, being wife, mum, business owner, all the things, it fills us with such pride and such joy, but it doesn't always fill us with all the fulfillment that we want it to or we expect it to. And some of us don't like admitting that. Some of us feel a little bit selfish. Some of us feel like, having all of these fantastic roles should be everything we've always wanted. And actually, that's not the case because, yes, we wear all these hats, but we are us first. We are still human beings. We are still women. We still have our own wants and our own needs. And sometimes, most of the time, actually, we don't put that across. We don't take time for ourselves. So in today's training, I'm basically going to, one, give you permission to be whoever the heck you want to be, and also give you some tips and some tricks into how to actually achieve that. And in really small bite-sized ways as well, in really easy, because we do not have time necessarily to be reading huge books or listening to 100 podcast episodes or watching hours and hours and hours of content. So we want to be able to break it down into really easy, manageable steps. And we want to be able to work out why we feel this way and also how to overcome it. Because as a mindset coach, I understand that actually mindset is probably the biggest obstacle that we face. Because if we are telling ourselves no all the time, if we are saying like, we don't deserve this, we don't know how to get this, things are not going to move forward. So I would absolutely, I have got my laptop down here and I can see all the comments. So I would absolutely love to know if any of my own tribe are here. So those of you who have come over from Affirmation Army or Science Behind the Sacred, please come and say hello, because it is nerve-wracking, like doing these trainings and speaking to people that I've never spoken to before. It can be a little bit nerve-wracking. So if you're from my tribe, please come and say hello. And if you're not from my tribe and you've never seen me before, also come and say hello, because I love meeting new people. And I would say seeing new faces, but I can just see myself right now. So please come and say hello. Okay, let's jump straight into it. The first thing that I want you to tell me is how often you feel or you say the sentence, when I da 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 da, then I'll do the thing. So I call this the grass is always greener. Okay. Obviously, I haven't made that saying up. It's a very famous saying, but this is how we identify it. The grass is always greener. It doesn't matter where we are now, we are always looking for more. And that isn't always a bad thing, because we are always wanting to strive towards the next thing. But what we don't want to do is not appreciate where we have come from in order to get to the next place. Because as human beings, especially as women, we are constantly moving the goalposts. We are constantly getting this close to our goal and then moving it. And while this is good, because we are, like I said, always wanting to strive for the next thing, sometimes it can leave us feeling a little bit lacking. Sometimes it can actually hinder our mindset, because we go, oh, never reach my goal. So who here has ever said something like, when I'm skinny, then I'll go and buy the clothes that I want to wear. When I'm rich, or not rich, but when I have the money, then I'll start saving. When I don't know, find love, then I'll be happy. Who here, even if you're watching on replay, I want to know, who here has fallen into the trap of saying, when I da 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 da, then I'm gonna da 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 da. Okay. Now, everyone says this at some point for some reason about something. And the trouble is with that is, if you think about it, it's a really backwards way of thinking. And it's a really, really backwards way of taking action. Because if we don't start doing the thing, we will never get to the result that we want. So at the moment, when we say, when I lose all the weight, then I'll start eating healthier, or then I'll start wearing the clothes, or then I'll sign up to the gym, we are waiting for the result to happen, and then we're going to take the action. We do not work like that. It doesn't work like that. That you cannot lose all of the weight and then go on a diet, for example. Like, you can't get the result and then take the action. It's a backwards way of thinking. And this also goes for becoming the woman who. So this is what I teach, like, my clients. This is what I teach my ladies. It's how to go from where you are now to becoming the woman who. It can look like anything for anyone. So it could be the woman who has more confidence, the woman who puts herself first, the woman who finds love, the woman, whatever it looks like, whatever that next version level of yourself looks like, that's the woman who. Okay. Now, when we are talking about becoming the woman who, we have to take the actions that version of ourselves is going to take, because we want to bring point A, where we are now, and point B, where you want to be, and we want to bring them together. Okay, so if you want to be the woman who has more confidence, break that down. What does that actually mean to you? What does that actually look like? Because so many times we will have a goal in mind, but we don't have a real plan. So if I was to say to you, okay, you want to be the woman who has more confidence, what does that look like? So many people don't actually know, and they'll go, oh, well, if you don't know what it looks like, how do you know, one, what action to take, and two, how close you are to that goal? Okay, so if it's the woman who wants to be more confident, and I said, what does that look like? And you went, she wears nicer clothes, she goes out to like bars or events, or she talks to strangers in Costa because she's having a good day and she just wants to say hello. It's, I don't know, replying back to people on a dating app, all these. I'm married, so I don't really know what single, like, I don't know how single people find each other. But whatever that looks like, okay, I want you to think about, what can I start doing now? Because becoming the woman who has to start somewhere. And you are not going to wake up one day suddenly feeling confident, with more money, with 3 stone lost, with whatever it might be. You have to take the baby steps in order to get there. Is that making sense? So an easy thing to do in that scenario is, okay, what clothes does the future version of me wear? The best version of me, what does she wear? And start wearing those clothes. That's how you start becoming the next level version of you. Okay. Oh, I can see, oh, there are people here. I can see comments. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hi Julie. Hi Maddie. Hi Donna. So I know a lot of you who have come from my tribe already know this, okay? But you cannot hear it enough because I'm always about new level, new devil. And you can do it to a certain point, and then you hit a new level, and then new mind monkeys come up, okay? So if you catch yourself saying, when I da 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 da, then I'm gonna da 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 da, I want you to think about, how can I start bringing that future version of myself into the now? What can I start doing? And I'll give you an example. For me, myself, the way I did this was I pictured my perfect day. Now, I don't mean, I pictured it in like scrutinizing detail, okay? And this is something that I want you guys to do. So when I thought about my perfect day, I thought about every single detail. So part of my day, so I'll take the morning, for example, was I want to wake up, obviously, it's always a good start. I want to wake up and I want to have crisp white bedding. I want to have a nice big bedroom. I want a dog laying at the end of my bed. And then I'm going to get up, I'm going to put on a silk robe, I'm going to go downstairs and make myself a posh coffee. I love a coffee in the morning. Only one coffee in the morning does me for the day. I'm going to go downstairs, do myself a posh coffee. I'm going to come upstairs, put on the shower in my nice walk-in shower, use my favorite body scrub that, like, it doesn't have to be expensive. Like, my favorite, all-time favorite smell of shower gel is honey. So nice honey body scrub. And then I'm going to come out the shower and then I'm going to start the rest of my day. Okay. Now, when I was thinking about it, I thought about what the rest of my day looked like, but I'm not going to sit here and explain that all to you. Now, there are some things that currently I cannot control out of that situation. I am not in a position to knock out my whole bathroom and give myself a walk-in shower. I'm not able to do that, okay? What I was able to do was I went out and I brought brand new white bedding. And what I did do was I went out and brought a really nice honey-scented body scrub, because I was taking the bits of my day, the bits of my morning that I could do, and bringing it into the now. So yes, it still wasn't my absolute most perfect day, but it was 2 steps closer already. Does that make sense? So I want you to, again, write into the comments, what is something that you could do tomorrow that brings you one step closer to your perfect day. Now, the way that I talk about this in my trainings in Affirmation Army and in my membership, a lot of this is the power of upgrading. Okay. Now, I actually have a free resource. I actually have a download all about upgrading that I think Jacqueline is going to put the link in for you later. So if you want that, please download it because it's absolutely fantastic. But I want you to think about what is something that you could do, you could create to bring into the now, to create your next level version of yourself. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, well, there's nothing I can do. I'm stuck in a rut. There's nothing that I can change, or I don't know, I'm in a job that I hate and I can't quit my job, or I don't like my house. I have that one so often from women that I work with. I don't like my house. There's nothing I can do about it. It's rented. I can't decorate it. I can't blah, blah, blah. Okay. This is because we often let our reality shape our thoughts. Okay. What we actually want to do is create a life where our thoughts shape our reality. Okay. So when we say things like, I'm not the sort of person to da 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 da, or I won't ever da 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 da, or I hear this a lot, things won't ever change, da 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 da. The more we tell ourselves that, the more we see it. Okay. We are programmed to protect ourselves. We are programmed to see the negative because it keeps us safe. This is where we need to start reprogramming ourselves, because we can be fearful of change because it's not safe. Okay. Our subconscious feels like it's not safe. Now, I don't mean that if we start to create change that our lives are going to be physically in danger, but emotionally it can be dangerous, because we feel like, oh, if I get my hopes up and then it doesn't happen, I'm going to be in this horrible, down energy. I'm going to feel upset. I'm going to feel annoyed. I'm going to feel depressed. I'm going to feel deflated. I feel like I'm not going to want to try again. Now, I am someone that gives it to you straight. I don't sugarcoat things very often. Okay. You are going to experience disappointment in life. It's a fact of nature. You cannot possibly have the best day every single day. But if you're here watching this at the moment, it's probably because you're feeling a little bit stuck. You're feeling a little bit like you're stuck in a rut. Okay, you don't know how to move forward. You want change and you don't know how to create it. You feel like things are just a little bit mundane. They're a little bit more ordinary. You know that there is something more to life, but you don't know how to reach it. You know who you want to be. You know what you want to be doing, but you just cannot understand how to bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. And I can absolutely promise you that these little changes are the way that you do it. So I've got a little membership going at the moment, and we focus so much on upgrading. Not just that, but it is a big part of what I teach, because it's so easy to do. And some of the most ridiculous things that you could imagine have really started to change my client's life. Okay. So there really is no such thing as a small upgrade. I mean, there is, but they all have a big impact. So, for example, I have one client who is in my membership. She's a busy mum. She's got 4 children. She owns her own business. She has a second job. She has a husband. She's got a house to take care of. She wears all the hats. She does all of the things. Okay. And one of the biggest stresses for her was doing the meal plan for the family, because they all eat different things and it's such a stress. And she has to not only think of the meal plans, then she has to write down all the ingredients, then she has to go shopping, then she has to work out whether she's going to take the kids with her, or have childcare or whatever. And it's just a huge faff for her. And she was like, honestly, it brings me so much stress. So I simply said, why don't you get a Tesco's delivery? It's super simple. Yes, you still have to think of the meal plans, but you can add stuff to your basket and then you haven't got to go shopping. You can get it delivered to you. And she was like, oh, I don't know. Am I the sort of person to do that? And I was like, just try it. Just see what happens. She gets the Tesco's delivery now, and she was like, I cannot believe how much stress is off of my plate. I've got time back. I don't get stressed about having to do the shop. I'm able to use my time more wisely. I can spend it with the kids. The kids don't get stressed because I'm having to drag them out of the house going shopping. She was like, I cannot believe the difference it makes. Now, I'm not telling you that the way to change your life is through a Tesco's delivery, okay? But what I'm saying is it is the tiny little changes that have the biggest difference, okay? For those of you who are from my tribe currently, pop into the chat like what your tiny upgrade has been that has made a massive difference. Because I want, for those of you who don't know me and who don't know, haven't come from my world, I want my tribe to tell you just how tiny a change they have made that has made a huge difference to them. Okay, sorry, my tribe, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit there. So I want you to think about what your current mindset is and whether that mindset is helping you or hindering you. Okay, because so often we look forward, which is a good thing because we want to know where we're heading. We need to have a little bit of a plan. Like I said, if you don't know where you're heading, how do you know how close you are to it already? But we often fall into a trap where we look so far forward and go, oh, but I'm not there, I'm not there, I'm not there. We don't actually see how far we've already come. Okay. And for a lot of you, you could actually be so much further along your journey than what you think. You could be so much closer to that next level version of you and you don't even realize it. So my mantra has always been, once upon a time, you thought this was impossible. So a little background about me. 5 years ago, me and my husband were in tens of £1,000s of debt. Okay, we were in a huge amount of debt. And every week I would sit down and I would do our finances and find out we had about £10 a month spare, if that. It was horrendous. It was hard, okay? And I felt like this is never going to change. I don't know how we are ever going to get out of this situation. And we both had jobs. My job didn't bring in a lot of money at the time, so I was a nursery nurse. It was a full-time job, but it was enough for us to just about get by. I then decided that I was going to train as a nail tech, and I was going to start my own business. Now, if you knew me 5 years ago, maybe it was 4 years ago, actually, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. 4 years ago, if you knew me then, you would have laughed if I had said, I'm going to start my own business, because I was not that kind of person. I didn't have the confidence. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't have the expertise. I didn't have that get up and go. I didn't have the passion, the ambition, none of it. Okay. The reason that I did it was because I thought if I can just make a couple of £100 a month, it will keep our head above water. So I invested in nail kit and all that sort of thing, and I started a business. 3 weeks later, we got put into a national lockdown. Could not have been the worst. It couldn't have been worse timing if we tried. And I honestly thought I was either going to have to sell an organ or start an OnlyFans to pay back my credit card bill. Like, it was horrendous. Fast forward like a year, I had managed to quit my day job and I was running my business full time, because I knew that if I wanted to make a change in my life, I had to show up as that person. I had to show up as the person who had the confidence, who had the know-how, who had the ambition. And as soon as I started to step into that person, it became a reality. And I started to find that actually this stuff was quite easy. Having the confidence was easy because I was doing the stuff. Having the know-how was easy because I was learning the skills, okay? But once upon a time, I never, ever thought that would have been possible. Fast forward to now, I'm a certified mindset coach. I have my own coaching clients. I have my own coaching business. I have a membership. I coach in someone else's business. I am a completely different person to who I was 4 years ago, because I started showing up as this version of myself, okay? I started taking the action. I started doing the things. Did it scare the bejeebies out of me? Absolutely. Did I have mindset wobbles where I was like, I don't know what I'm doing? Absolutely. Do I still feel like that? Absolutely. Before this call, I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. I do this as a job, okay? Every single like week, I go live and I deliver a training or I do a coaching call. And yet I was still nervous. But I'm here, I showed up, I'm doing the things, and now I feel absolutely fine. I'm in my element. Now, for some of you, it's not going to be as big as starting a business or becoming a mindset coach or delivering a training to hundreds of people. For some of you, it's going to be the small things. Okay. So again, I have another client in my membership. She happens to be a business owner as well, but she is a mum. And her kids, they need a lot of her attention. Okay. And she was, of course, showing up for them in every single way possible. But it meant she wasn't showing up for herself in all the right ways. And you cannot give from an empty cup. So I said to her, you need to start being selfish. You need to start taking a little bit of time for you, whether it's just a couple of hours a week. You need to start taking time for you. And that is perfectly okay. Now, as you can imagine, all the feelings came up for her: the mum guilt, the worry, the shame, the feeling of panic of I don't even know what I would do with 2 hours a week. I don't even know how to be that person because I haven't been that person for such a long time. And yes, it wasn't starting a business, it was just taking time out for herself. And yet all the worries came up, all the fears came up. We are now, I think probably she's been doing it for about a month. And she's like, oh my God, I love this time. I love my time. And I'm so pleased that I have managed to take the time back for me, because I am now showing up as a better wife, a better mum, a better business owner, a better person. Like I'm more in control of my anxiety. So much has changed for her because she decided to do the scary thing and take some time for her. But 5 weeks ago, she never thought that would have been possible because she didn't see how it was going to happen for her. And sometimes all you need is just someone to give you that little bit of a push, that little bit of permission, okay? So I'm just going to read your comments for a second and have a sip of drink because I've been talking a lot. I need an ice cube apparently. Oh, there we go. So Donna says, I'm upgrading my dining room table into a tea shop table because I love cake, tea, and tea shops. My favorite cakes are here, and my teapot arrives this week. I love that. So that's gonna, again, it's a tiny little thing, but then every time Donna walks into her dining room, she's gonna see that, and it's gonna bring her that little bit of joy. It's gonna make her smile. It's gonna make her go, oh, I love that. Okay. Tiny little thing, but it's going to spark that little bit of something, because the ultimate version of Donna, she has that little tea room set up. Okay. Now, whether that means that one day Donna wants to own a tea shop, okay, doesn't matter. She might never want to own a tea shop. I don't know. But having that little tea shop, that little tea set up, it's something that when she walks into the room, she goes, oh, I love that so much. And this is what we want to start creating in our life, because it isn't just about the material things that our best version of ourselves wants. It's about the feelings. It's about the energy. And this is where we can start to use what we have to start creating what we want, okay? Because it is a time to start creating, not just surviving. We don't want to have just make do all of the time. So when we, like I was saying about thinking about your perfect day, your perfect morning, think about the feelings that you have as well. Think about the emotions and the energy around things, because yes, we can't I don't know. So for example, buying a new car, I would absolutely love to have a white Range Rover. Am I anywhere near affording that? No. But I have realized that I treat my current car poorly. Like, if you saw my car at the moment, it's awful. Like, it hasn't been cleaned in ages. Like, I've got loads of rubbish in the footwell because I live in my car a lot. Like, I do a lot of traveling, and I don't treat my car well. Something that I'm really working on is, if I can treat my car better now, I'm going to start to like it more. I'm going to start to appreciate it more. It's going to start to make me feel better. Because at the minute I get in my car and I go, oh, I don't like this car. But it's because of how I'm treating it, okay? It's because I don't treat it with respect. I don't treat it like it is doing its job. Because if I didn't have my car, I would be in big trouble, okay? So you have to start appreciating what you have in order to get more of what you want. Because if I was just suddenly gifted a Range Rover tomorrow, I'm not in the habit of treating it correctly. I'm not in the habit of treating my car in the way that that Range Rover would deserve. Does that make sense? So I fall into this category of the grass is greener sometimes because I go, oh yeah, but when I get my Range Rover, I won't have it messy. I'll wash it all the time and I won't have food in the car. Now, you probably know just as much as I do that the grass isn't always greener. Because how many times have you said, okay, when I get to this particular point, then I'm going to change it. And then you found yourself at that particular point, and surprise, surprise, your habits haven't changed. And it's because it is not your surroundings that dictate the way you treat things or the way that you feel about things. It is you. So you have to start appreciating what you have, learning how to love and accept what you have in order to move forward, in order to get the things that you want. Okay. Julie has said shower gel. I upgraded to the one I asked for as presents. It probably costs me £2 more a month. It starts in the morning. Yeah. It is crazy how much shower gel gets brought up because, again, shower gel is not an expensive luxury. Okay. It's something that can set you up. Like a good shower can set you up for the whole day. Okay. You can either walk in, turn it on, use your bog standard shower gel, get out, and it's a part of your day that you don't really remember. Okay, you do it on autopilot. We want to start bringing in moments of our day that are the glimmers. Okay, the bits that you remember, the bits that make you go, oh, I really liked that. So instead of just going into an autopilot shower, buy your favorite shower gel. Put your favorite, like, I don't know, radio station on. Like, have that water just a little bit hotter if you like a hot shower. Really enjoy that moment of your day. Because with the small things, at the end of the day, we want those to be the things that you remember. So it is not about eradicating the negative because there are always going to be days that are just a bit crap. Okay. There are always going to be days that just don't really do it for us. They're not the vibe. But if we can get into the habit of stepping into that next level version of ourselves with the tiny changes like the showers, the clothes. Another one that I suggest is perfume. Like, how many of us have that perfume that's for special occasions only? And you're like, oh, it's an expensive perfume. I don't want to waste it. It's for special occasions only. Why aren't you a special occasion in yourself? Okay. Why are we living in such scarcity that you can't just replace that perfume if it runs out? Like, what are you telling yourself? What energy are you giving out to the universe? So I'm a huge believer in energy. I'm a huge energy in what you put out, you get back. What are you telling the universe if you say, it's just a random Tuesday and I don't deserve to wear that perfume? Okay. When you put on that perfume that makes you feel good, you take that with you through the rest of the day. You have that extra spring in your step. You show up that little bit more confident because you're like, damn, I smell good. Okay. It makes you feel good. And when you feel good, you take better actions. When you take better actions, you get better results. So this is why it is so important to give yourself the things that you want and the things that you deserve. Because when you get into bed, you could have had a really rubbish day. Okay. You could have got up, you could have, I don't know, stubbed your toe on the bed, you could have gone downstairs and the cat has peed on the doormat. You could get into your car and you've got a flat tire. Like, all sorts of things could happen, right? Now, if you can offset that with the little things that bring you joy, the little glimmers in life, you can get into bed and you can go, oh, okay, I've had a really stressful day, but that shower was amazing. Like, I absolutely loved that shower. It was the best shower I've ever had. And do you know what? I felt so good. The fact that I put on like my posh clothes, I put on my expensive perfume, and I felt like I held myself better. And actually, do you know what? Walking into work, looking and feeling better than I ever have, has really upped my game. I really feel good. And even things like cooking your favorite tea, right? If you have, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Steak and chips is something that me and my husband always did as like an anniversary dinner or like a date night tea, like things like that. Now, because steak and chips is one of my favorite meals and it's one of his favorite meals, we will have it midweek. Because who the hell is telling us that we can't? We are the ones that decided that steak was only for special occasions. And it's like, do you know what? Every day can be a special occasion. Any day can be a special occasion. So do the things that make you feel good. Does that make sense? Have another little drink. So I want you to really think about, one, what does your dream day look like? Okay. Think about, break it down into the really small things. And then I want you to think about what mind monkeys are coming up for you. So my monkeys are what I call like the self-doubt, the limiting beliefs, the stories. So if we say like, oh, I don't deserve that, or I'm not the sort of person to, all these negative self-talk things that we say. Because don't forget, we want to start creating a life where our thoughts shape our reality. Because it's so easy to fall into the mundane. It's so easy to fall into autopilot, the regular 9 to 5, doing all of the things that we miss the good things that happen to us. So not only are we missing the good things that naturally happen to us, we are missing the opportunity to then add to them. Okay. So we want to start switching that mindset. We want to start switching that mindset to, I do have good things happen to me. Like, I don't know, for example, my husband absolutely hates his job. Absolutely hates his job, and it drives him bonkers. Okay. He really hates his job. I have to say to him all of the time, list the good things. Okay. Now, am I saying there's a million good things about the job? No. Am I saying that the good things eradicate the bad? No. But if I can help him to focus on the good things, like it pays the bills, he can work from home 3 days a week, it's really close, so he hasn't got a commute for hours. He can do the job really easily, so he doesn't have to like think too much about it. Don't tell him I said that, because that comes across bad. It's a hard job, but he's very good at it. If I can help him think of the good things, it becomes that little bit less shit, basically. And sometimes that's the best that we can hope for. Sometimes there are situations where you're like, this is a lost cause. But if we can help it feel just a little bit less shit every single day, that is a good thing. And we want to focus on that. Because like I said, it is not about creating perfection. It is just about creating a day where you feel slightly better about it than you did yesterday. Maddie says, I definitely operate from a place of scarcity like that all the time. Scarcity is a really big factor that holds a lot of people back. So when you are in that place of scarcity, when you're in that place of lack, when you're in that place of what if it doesn't happen? What if it goes wrong? What if I can't succeed at this? It stops us doing the action. So everyone, I think, has played the what if game at some point. You know, we lay in bed, can't get to sleep, there's something on our mind, and it's, what if I don't get that job? What if I don't lose the weight? What if I don't know, I screw up this training, right? We all play the what if game. And every time we have that thought, it concretes it into our subconscious. Because what we tell ourselves, the way that we speak to ourselves, it is stored. It becomes our story. It becomes our identity. Okay. Now, unfortunately, this happens from a super, super young age, and we absorb everything like a sponge. So, and we also, we are trained, not trained, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like genetically, we are told to take that negative information because, one, we find it hard to celebrate ourselves, and two, again, it's the thing that keeps us safe. Okay, the negative keeps us safe because it stops us from trying. It stops us from wanting to overachieve. It keeps us safe because if we don't try, we can't fail. So I want you to think about all the really silly little things that you tell yourself. You could have heard it as a child, you could have heard it from someone else. It could be something really silly like, oh, I can't do that because I'm too clumsy. And it could be because you have a memory of your mum, like you knocked something over and she goes, oh my God, you're so clumsy. Okay. And you hold on to that. You hold on to that little thought and you go, oh, I didn't know I was clumsy, but she said it, so it must be true. And then next time you hear it, regardless of how long it is, your subconscious goes, oh, someone else has said I'm clumsy. And I remember mum said I was clumsy, so that's two people now. I must be clumsy. And suddenly it becomes your identity, it becomes your story. And no matter how many times you disprove the theory that you're clumsy, you will always refer to yourself as clumsy because that's what you've been told. And you could go through a whole week, whole month, whole year without knocking something over, without breaking something, without doing something. But we don't pay attention to those days. We only pay attention to the things that we have stored. So you could be clumsy when you're 7 and then you wouldn't do anything again until you're 25. But someone could say, oh my God, you're so clumsy. And that's it, you've stored it. So when we come from a place of scarcity, it's because we have already told ourselves it's not possible. I'm not that sort of person. This is never going to happen for me. And we look at other people and we start to compare ourselves and we start to go, but it's different because she da 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 da. Or, well, that person got a head start because of da 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 da. And we start telling all of ourselves all of these reasons why we don't deserve the best version of our life, why we don't deserve to have the nice perfume, the nice house, the nice husband, to have the kids, to have the promotion, to have the car, to have the whatever it is. Okay. I want you to try and catch that negative self-talk and I want you to flip it. It's hard. I'm not going to lie to you. It's hard. And this is work that you will do for the rest of your life because nobody wakes up and goes, everything's perfect. Nobody move. Nobody touch anything. Everything's perfect and I don't want anything to change. Because again, we will always move the goalposts. So when we're thinking of that next level version of ourselves, think about, how does she dress? What does she wear? What does she think? What does she say? What does she do? And take parts of what you can do now and start doing it. Because the only way that you are going to become the woman who is to start now. It is to start today. And yes, it might start with the tiny little changes, but think about my client who has got the Tesco delivery subscription. She has got so much more time to do whatever she wants, okay? Whether that's build her business, whether that's spend time with the kids, whether that's to go and have a bubble bath, whether that's to meditate, whatever she wants to do, she has the time to do it now because she made that one little change, okay? So what can you start to do now? Don't overcomplicate it. Like I said, I do have a free download that you can use that has got, so there's a 20-minute training on upgrading. So it's a little bit different to what we've done now. Like we really go into what upgrading is, how to use it and why it's so important. And it's also got, I think it's over 40 different ideas of little things that you can start to upgrade. And it's also got a subliminal meditation in there for you to listen to, and basically just start to reprogram your subconscious to receiving. So I'm a huge fan of subliminal meditations because as someone who is always on the go, it gives me an excuse to just stop. I also can't visualize I cannot visualize at all. So I struggle with like guided meditations. I do have guided meditations and things like that in my membership. But I thought a subliminal one would probably be a bit better. And it's got 111 affirmations in there for you to kind of start to retrain your subconscious. So it is honestly a fantastic download, even if I say so myself. I think that's everything. Oh, I can see that Jacqueline's just put the link in as well. So that's good. Thank you very much. If you have any questions for me, I know that most of you that are watching are already from my world, so no pressure if you have no questions. But if you want to know any more about what I teach, how I teach it, then please feel free to, like I said, either use the download. You can come and join my group as well. So Affirmation Army, that can all be found on my profile. But yeah, hopefully that has made sense. I cannot stress enough how it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be huge changes in how to get from where you are now to who you want to be. Your biggest obstacle will be mindset. Your biggest obstacle will be giving yourself permission to actually do it. So I have given you all the ideas in the download. What I can't do in a download is give you all the scenarios that are going to go through your head. So if you need help with it, ask, reach out, because mindset is the number one thing that holds you back. And I promise, as soon as you start to unpick all of the limiting beliefs, all of the mind monkeys, all of the false stories, all the false narratives that you've been telling yourself, you are going to start seeing changes. And anyone can do it. I guarantee almost all of you are sitting here going, it's not going to work for me because I'm the exception to the rule. Okay, that is your subconscious, that is your princess energy, and I talk a lot about energies in my membership. That is your princess energy trying to keep you safe. It's trying to make you the exception of the rule so you don't try, because if you don't try, you can't fail. Okay, but if you don't try, you are going to stay where you are. And chances are, if you're here, you don't want to stay where you are. Nobody wants to just live make do. Everyone wants to reach for more. Everyone wants to wake up and think, yes, I am so ready for today. I am so ready to have my best day yet. Okay. And yes, not every day is going to be your best day, but it could be if you tried. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I think Jacqueline's going to come back now because I don't know how to end this. I don't know how to get leave. But yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know. And hopefully you enjoyed.
Hello, can you hear me? I'm obsessed about having the sound now. That was amazing. It's really I've trained in this stuff for many years, but as you said at the very beginning, you can never hear it enough, ever. No. And you know, I said to you the other day when we were initially talking about this that it gave me a kick up the bum then.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's done even more so because you know, for me, I'm not living in the great. I've outgrown my home, right? So I'm constantly thinking I need to get into a better environment. And I've kind of let things slide here in my home, and it's kind of like, do you know what? I'm off this week. And I've dedicated 2 days, Thursday and Friday, to literally deep clean my home to actually get it back to a space where it's clutter-free and everything. And that is through talking to you.
I love that. It just goes to show, I mean, that is the perfect example of how we let our reality shape our thoughts. Do you know what I mean? Because we are saying, in your situation, it's my house is really cluttered, I don't like my house, it doesn't do what I want it to do anymore. But that's because you've allowed that to happen. It's almost like you gave up on the house but are now blaming the house for not doing what it needs to do. Do you know what I mean? Whereas actually, if we think about it and go, okay, I maybe could treat my house a little bit better. I realised that I'm the problem. Like a real Taylor Swift moment, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. And actually we start to realise I can change my reality. I can change the way that I feel about this. I can change the way that I see my situation, but it has to come from us first. It's us having to take the action in order to get the result. Do you know what I mean? It's the perfect example of that.
Absolutely. Well, this has been absolutely amazing. There is just one little thing. We're going to have to recheck the link for your
Yeah, I saw that. I said it looked like it wasn't working. I don't know why, which is really
um,
annoying. But
I'm
I'll
we'll stay on and talk about that after and make sure that gets working for everybody.
yeah,
I'm also going to put the link for Kayla's lovely little Facebook group into the comments below, so that will make everybody easier to find it. It really is a great little group. There's loads of little sort of I call them mind bombs, because your little snippets. It's like, oh yeah, and it kind of really makes you think. So a really nice little group to be part of. But I just want to say, before we say goodbye to everybody, is thank you so much for
well,
taking the time this evening to tell us about what you do, because it really is a fascinating subject. And I know you've literally just touched the tip of the iceberg on it today. But I think it's made everybody who joined live today, it's made us all think. And I would love, if anybody's catching this on replay, please do #replay and put your comments in about I'd love to know what one little thing everybody's going to change through listening to this. Me, it's cleaning my flat, and I think I'm going to treat myself to a really posh shampoo tomorrow as well.
yeah, do it.
I'm going to get into the vibe, start living the lives we want to live. So, Kayla, thank you so much. It's been an
You're
absolute
welcome.
joy and a pleasure. Please stay on. I'm going to end the live stream if I can work out how to do it. Thank you everybody for joining, and we will see you all very soon, and we'll get all the links into the comments for you.